And here we are, and it's Monday morning, and both Terry and I practically forgot we were going to even be here today. Anyway, thank you, Terry. Thank you very much. Thank you. I see Pierrette's already here. It's nice to see you,
Mhm.
Pierrette. I hope you're doing well, dear. And today we're doing the questions from inside the actor's studio, which I have affectionately changed to inside the psychic's studio, as a way of getting to know people. And if we have enough people, we can do some readings afterwards for a little while. But if we don't, we may end up going into your discussion of Ismo. But if we have readings, we'll do that. So we'll see how
Okay.
it goes. We'll see how it all goes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Craig. Hi, Sin. For no reason, I've got Mr. Rogers' beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
day in the neighborhood. Have you guys seen Mr. Robinson's neighborhood with Eddie Murphy playing Mr. Rogers from Saturday Night Live? It's crazy. Yeah, it was fun. Anyway, we have Teresa and Isabella here and Carolyn Adams. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So, if you don't know about how this works, there was a very sweet man named James Lipton who was a teacher for actors and actresses. I don't know if it was the LA School of Film or what it was. But what he would do is he would have a show where he would bring in, let's say, Kevin Bacon, or he'd bring in Tom Cruise, or he'd bring in Robin Williams, and he would talk with them about their careers and how they were going and what they were doing. And then about 10 minutes before the end of the show, he would say, okay, I'm going to ask you 10 more questions now for you to answer. And he did them every time, and they were always so enjoyable because everybody had a different idea of what they answered. And so it made it a lot of fun, and the students
Mhm.
liked it. So I was on with Kevin, the healing medium. I tried it out on him first this couple of weeks ago on a Friday night. James Lipton came through. He may come through for you today. I don't know, Terry.
I hope so.
And he's like, "This is marvelous. This is marvelous. I want you to do this, all with everybody." So I'm working my way through it, and actually have people booked into October right now because not everybody can do it in the summer. And so, yes, and absolutely, if you know anybody that would also be interested, let me know. I would love it. Um, I know Oil Painter did it, Diana did it. Pierrette, if you'd like to do it, let me know. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, so yay. Glad you're all here. Hi, Hypnicity. Good to see you too. Allie was Miss Jean on Romper Room, Jean Durkee. Oh, gee, I don't know, Greg. Maybe, maybe. Hi, Claudia. All I know is that there were different. There was a Miss Jean in my market, but I think there might have been different ladies that look through the mirror, magic mirror, over in different markets. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe. I wonder how old she is. She's probably like 98 or something. Yeah, because we're just a little older than we were then. A little bit, a little bit. Anyway, so thank you, Terry, for being with me today, and thank you, everyone else, for being with us here today. Terry and I have met in the real time. Actually, we've met twice in real time, and I
Yeah.
adore her. She has been on my Thursday shows for a very long time, and she's also been on my Sunday show. And I consider her a sister and a good friend. So,
Mm,
welcome, welcome, dear.
thank you. Well, I consider you the same. And I want to tell people just, people always ask, well, are they really like they are on TV or YouTube? I have to say that the real Allie is a lot funnier in person. She's very funny.
Uh, I used to be awful when I drank when I was a kid, like, college kid. I would drink so much, I'd be standing up on tables and dancing and things like that. So you can see why I'm already crazy enough. So I haven't had a lot of liquor for a lot of years. So, and I have to say, Terry's the same as well. And
Boy,
when we were reading together, and I was her sort of MC in her reading group, we had a lot of fun. We really did.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
enjoyable.
Yeah, well, maybe something people don't know about me, even though I'm a very shy person, you stick me in front of an audience and I'm a ham. I don't know.
Hmm. You're also very articulate and very, you explain things really well to people and make them feel very, very comfortable. So you've outgrown your total shyness and you're
Yeah,
just semi shy now.
yeah.
That's cool. All right. So here we go, everybody. So, Terri, what might be your favorite word?
Possibilities. I
Possibilities.
like possibility. I mean, I have a lot of favorite words, but that's the
Sure.
word that occurred to me today is possibilities.
Okay. Wow. I love that because I like that word and I like potential as well because I believe that we all have the potential to work out our possibilities.
Right. And I think the reason I'm kind of going towards possibility a lot is because, the veil is really, really thinning.
It
The
is.
the old rules are going away. We're kind of getting, I don't even know if I want to say we're getting a set of rules, but there's a lot
Yeah,
changing. There's a lot of possibilities out there right now.
there
And now
really is.
when they do something like just a tiny heads up, they showed me another dimensional life yesterday.
Mm,
And
wow.
you know, I kind of didn't, I mean, the possibilities are growing and changing.
Yeah.
And you can't, you have to not doubt what you're seeing or experiencing.
There was something that came out, and I'm not sure if I just saw it yesterday or it just recently came out, but there was a scientist that said that he had gotten a piece of asteroid from a while ago and he'd had it and he was working on it. And he said that he has determined that, there's iron in it, there's this, things that we have here, but there were things that he didn't know what the heck they were. And he determined they were from another galaxy. That
Wow.
just gave me the shivers. I just
Mhm.
get really excited about that. I think, and it probably was hurtling toward us for, hundreds of thousands of years. It isn't something
Right.
that was just sent out yesterday.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
well, Hypnicity, we're very grateful that we've met you both, met you and Keith. So thank you, dear. Thank you. It's always nice to meet those folks that are in town. Hi, Willow. Very nice to see you. Very nice to see you. All right, Terri. So, possibilities. What's your least favorite word?
Can't. Can't.
Mm, right.
And shouldn't and never are close contenders. I
Yes.
I
Yes.
just don't, I really hate to be told you can't do that.
Right. Right.
Um, because again, the possibilities are I can. So,
I've had those situations where I've come up with an idea. This when I was working at a tax office, and I said, "Why don't we try to do run some taxes distance? The easy ones, not the hard ones, and then upload them to the people, and they can pay us, and that we can do this from this." It was a check cashing center. That's what it was. This was
uh-huh.
back in 1992 or three, and oh no, 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 no. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. 2 years later, oh, guess what? We have a new thing going on. We're going to be running this through this check cashing center. And I said, oh, that's what I told you guys you should do. I don't remember you ever saying that.
Oh, you know, that's that psychic part of you because that happens to me too, where I'm like, "Hey,
Yeah,
why don't we do X?" And they're like, "What?"
I
And
know.
like a year later or so, they're doing X, and then
Right.
nobody remembers that I
That you
suggested it.
brought it up. Yeah. You almost want to write it down and have them sign it. So you bring it.
I
I
I'd
mean,
probably do that today now that I know what's going on a
I
bit
bet you
more.
do. Yeah. And I say it not from a place of ego, but just from a place of people just automatically shutting you off because
Mhm.
they don't see that possibility
Yeah,
and they just say it can't be done.
right.
And so there's a those who say it can't be done should not interrupt the person doing it. I
Yes,
love
that's great.
that. Isn't that great? Yeah, I know. It's great. All right. So Terri, what excites you? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be, it could be spiritual, it could be regular.
There's so many things, but I mean, what excites me in the physical is, building things or taking apart things or cutting down tree, any physical thing like that. I love that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
But also just learning new spiritual principles, like
Mhm.
learning something new from spirit really is exciting. And it's
Yeah.
always a surprise. It's surprising. I can't like plan it and say, okay, you're going to surprise me today.
Right, right.
You know,
Yes, I do. That's and you've always been that curious about putting things together, building and making things. Is that,
yes,
yeah, you
yes.
have?
By training, I'm a geographer, which is
Uh-huh.
very spatial. So spatial thinking. Um, I also, before I went to college, I was a hairdresser, and hairdressing is also completely spatial.
It
You're doing
is.
something
Yeah.
on a round surface,
Right.
but the what you're doing is in kind of 2D. You're imagining the
Hmm.
hair different angles, flat from the surface,
True.
and so spatial thinking is really
Really big with
very
you.
part of me, and that's probably why I went with geography too, because with spatial thinking, I can kind of handle whatever they're going to throw at me. So,
You're going to laugh. You're just going to laugh. When I
what?
was in college, my very, very favorite professor was my geography professor. He made geography fun. He talked about rain and, he
Hmm.
made everything exciting. I
Hmm.
changed my major to geography. And I have English and geography because it was an interdiscipline. Those two things don't really go together. But
Wow.
oh, I had to take every class he did because he was so fabulous.
What
And
I love, yeah, because I actually was a business major at the University of
okay,
Washington
yeah,
and just hated it. And I thought I would love it because I had businesses. I had owned businesses forever, and I thought, well, this would be a good match. It
yeah.
was not a match at not even
No,
a little bit. And went
hmm.
in, I had a geography class and I was really loving it. Then went into the counselor and like, well, what does it take to be a geographer? And he's like,
Yeah,
boom, you're a geographer.
you're a
There you go.
Did you
And
did you take cartography and
yeah,
map? I
yeah.
love that. I love maps.
I
Hmm.
So basically, if people wonder like what's a geographer, because the first thing is people hear is geology, like, oh, it's
Yes.
about the rocks. I'm like,
No.
no,
No.
geography. So basically, what it is that I'm a classically trained geographer. And what we do is we analyze the shit out of everything, okay?
That's
You
right.
want something analyzed? I got something to do. The analyzation.
As far well, like I took the geography of sports. I took the geography of, a whole bunch of different the White Mountains because I lived in New Hampshire and we would go out and do rock hounding and everything. So yes, it was hands on, but it was a lot of fun. And you're
Mhm.
right. You're
Yeah,
right. You do analyze a lot. What is your
yeah.
sign anyway? Which isn't one of the questions, but I'm
I
just
I'm a
wondering.
Leo. I'm a Leo.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. That's awesome. So Kelly resonates with you because she's also a Leo. Kelly
Wow.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, Willow said she had 3 associate's degrees before deciding on metalsmithing. Woo, that would be cool.
Oh, I
Yeah.
so I used to do when I was in high school. I took every weird thing so I can weld.
Uh-huh.
I like
Uh-huh.
it, but metalsmithing, I'd love to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I bet
I'm
you
kind
could
of
do
running
it without
out
any
of
kind of
time.
problem. Yeah. No problem. So what kinds of things turn you off that to do or to what turns you off is the question.
I have a hard time planning,
Hmm.
and yet as a geographer, planning is part of it.
It's
But
important. That's
I have a
true.
hard time with that.
Uh-huh.
I hate sitting at a desk.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
I wanna move. I wanna be
Yeah.
up and moving, and yet, I do a lot of IT things too, so, I mean, but it's just hard to sit, wanna get
Yeah.
up and move.
So
Um,
your style of learning is kinesic, it sounds like, which
yes,
is
yeah.
yes, definitely.
See
Yeah,
one, do one, teach one. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. I mean, I have to try to analyze that when I'm teaching because I have some visuals, some hearing, and some
Hmm.
kinesic, and you got to try to make everybody happy, and because
Hmm.
not everybody can learn the same way. So it sounds like
Right.
you picked the right things for what you love to do, though. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
I'm glad I kind of accidentally landed in all
You
that.
landed on your all right. So, what sound or noise do you love?
I kind of love a train whistle. And,
Okay.
from where my dad always had one of those little fake train wooden things and would make, I always
Uh-huh.
kinda liked that, and I think it's because it reminds me of my country grandma. She lived near the train,
Okay.
the train goes through the country, and it was always fun to hear that sound. But
Yeah.
even where I live now, I live in, the Pacific Northwest, kind of north of Bothell, and I'm on a hill and it kind of faces the Puget Sound. I can't see the Puget Sound, but
Right.
there's a train that goes along the edge of the
Yeah.
Puget Sound, and I can hear the
Oh,
whistle.
the whistle.
And
How
I
beautiful.
kind of like that.
Yeah. Doesn't that go by Mukateo up that
Yeah,
way? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so the funny thing is sometimes when I'm meditating or I'm reading somebody or I'm on a journey,
Mhm.
sometimes they use that sound of the train whistle to let me know something's happening, something's coming in, some action is about ready to take place.
Or you're on the right track.
Ooh.
I love analyzing train stations in literature because it's a place where trains meet, people get on and go, and they go in different directions, and then there's the tracks that go along with it,
Mm,
and the cars, how separate cars and a caboose. I don't know. I just have a lot
mhm.
of fun with it, so that's really awesome.
Yeah.
All right, how about a sound, or a noise that you hate?
Hmm. I don't know that there's anything I really, really hate, but I really hate sharp, high sounds.
Uh
Back
huh.
when my hearing was a little bit better, I have a slight hearing deficit right now, but I could hear
Hmm.
almost, I mean, nearly dog whistle range. I really could hear
Oh,
high
wow.
pitch, and it
Uh huh.
really hurts. So, like, for
Yeah.
instance, I go to Japan a lot because we have
Hmm.
family over there.
Hmm.
It was really hard to listen to girl bands, Japanese girl bands, because they
Oh,
are so high pitched, they hurt my head.
yeah.
That
Plus, you
doesn't
don't know what
happen.
they're saying. It doesn't help. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
really high pitches
I
don't
get
do
it.
it.
I can't deal with any noise, any loud noise at all. Like the fireworks and the guns going off around the neighborhood.
Mhm,
They exhaust me. They really do. But I could understand why something that high pitched would. Somebody
mhm.
told me that they don't like. I think it was Jay Marcus. No, maybe it wasn't her. I'm not sure. But somebody told me that they wear headphones in Walmart because they don't even like the noise in there, and that it's a whole new experience for them
Right.
because you're not hearing all that junk, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, interesting. Oh,
I
Willow, the
can see
Orient
that.
Express. Yeah, Willow says she would love to take a trip on the Orient Express. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice?
Love that.
Hello, Miss Moonlight Musing. I'm happy to see you, and I'm so happy to have you as our newest member in the membership. Thank you so much, dear. It's nice to see you. Yeah. Okay. Now you're going to have this one, and some people don't like to answer it outright, but it's okay no matter how you do it. So, what
Okay.
is your favorite curse word?
Damn it. Damn
Oh,
it is my
you're
first
real.
one. I know it sounds like I'm going around like Yosemite Sam. Damn it. But the problem is I've always had kids around,
Oh,
so
yeah.
my
Okay.
second favorite might be fudge,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
maybe the worst
The other
version
part
of
of
that.
that. Right. Yeah.
But I try not to say it. So I've run around saying "damn it" a lot,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's useful.
It is useful. My mother, that would be the extent of what she would say. She would never say anything more than that. But me, it's the SH word that I enjoy so much.
Shit
Yeah.
is, I say that a
Is it
lot. In fact, I
Tuesday?
did say that today, and I was thinking, Allie's going to ask you that. You just said that, but you don't like that word as much.
My mother wouldn't let us say caca, not that I wanted to.
Uh,
She had a very weird word for bowel movement, which was
mm.
grumps. That's what she called it.
Oh,
She
huh,
would tell
I've
you to
never.
go in, and actually it was supposed to be grunt real
Oh,
hard. But she would say, "Come on, let's go grumps." And so
oh,
that's what that was. And so if you said cuck or if you said sh or whatever, she didn't like that at all. So
right.
yeah.
We
But
could only
nobody
say
knows what.
poop in our household.
Oh,
So
you could only say poop. Okay. That's so funny. All right. So here's one you got to think about a little bit. What gift, other than what you currently have, which may be including, being a carpenter and a welder and a this, and also your spiritual gifts, what
mhm.
else would you like to have as a gift if you could choose another one?
The fact I just said I don't like planning, but boy, I'd love to be a little more organized. I'd like to have super organization powers. That would be fabulous.
Uh
Um,
huh.
spiritually, I keep dabbling with the idea that I'd like some better clairaudience.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
however, when clairaudience happens, because even though we tend to have reliable clairs,
Right.
it doesn't, but we can use all 8 clairs, but it's the clairaudient doesn't happen that often for me. But when it does, it scares the bejesus out of me. So
Oh, it does? Really?
yes, and
Oh,
so
okay.
like all weekend long at the fair, at the day I was at the fair, and then even Sunday, I kept hearing my name called all over and nobody's calling my name. So it's
Uh,
clairaudient, but the problem is rather than being able to stay in that space where I'm interacting
yeah,
with the clairaudient, it surprises me and I'm out of it. And I'm like
I
sitting there and they're
understand.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like seeing
so
something
I
out of the corner of your eye and going like that, and it's gone because you can't look
right.
at it straight on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you do hear it though, is it inside or outside?
The out sometimes it's outside. And that's the
Sometimes
one
it's
that
outside.
like gets
Okay.
me and I'm like, what the heck?
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then act like a fool and like, you should know I only work with the highest vibrational spirits. Go away if you're not that.
No. So when I was a girl, I was up in my room, and my mother would say, "Shut the door while you're playing your records." So I would have on
Mhm.
like the Young Rascals or something playing a song, and in the middle of that song, I heard Alice, and that's my real name. And so I would go, "What? What?" And so then I'd have to turn the record off, open up the door, and say, "What?" And my mother would say, "I didn't call you."
Oh,
So
now that happens as well, where I hear
okay,
my name called inside, and
uh huh.
then a lot of times it'll be at night, and I'll turn to my husband and like, "What?" And he's like, "What?" Wasn't me.
Me. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Do you find any gift that you have annoying in any way?
Intuition can be slightly annoying.
Okay.
Um, I've as I look kind of back at my work career,
Hmm.
the thing that got me always into the most trouble, if I think about any trouble I had, it was always due to intuition.
Uh huh.
So
Uh-huh.
I would be at work, and my job, of course, was to analyze how well our nonprofits were doing or not doing. And
Uh-huh.
often then I would have the psychic intuition of like, oh, if we did it this way, the numbers would grow by this. I can do psychic math for some weird reason.
Where were you when I needed you?
I know I can't do real math that well, but psychic works. And then I would say something, oh, if we did this, this would happen. They'd be like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
Can you prove it? And I'm like,
No, not really, but
damn
just
it.
believe me. Yeah, trust me. Trust
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
yeah, nobody trusts me. So,
Yeah. No,
and
I have the same issue even though I've proved it so many times. But
mhm,
it's the people that know you the best
right,
that don't trust you because they don't believe
right,
you have that ability.
right. Well, we have in my neighborhood right now, we have a happening where a young, very, very young toddler um, is going around saying really, really deeply bad curse words at people.
Oh.
And he also was biting people and doing some other things.
Uh-oh.
But
Uh-oh.
and I was working on my porch and I heard him across the street with in the work, playing with other kids, and then him saying some of these really bad things. And suddenly my angels and guides showed me exactly what happened to make him do this. What
Oh.
happened that suddenly caused him to suddenly be spouting all these terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't go anywhere with it. Great, I know, but I can't tell anybody because they
Yeah.
like, how do you know that? And I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to explain it. So,
There's a guy that's there's a show and he's a psychic and he's like an Uber driver. And he get the people, have you seen that show? And he gets in the car and the people are sitting in the back and he says, I have a message for you. Are you willing to hear it? Because you have to ask, just like you said, you can't just
mhm,
blurt it out. And then they're like, well, how do you know all this about me? And then people get really worried and all that stuff, but it's just that he can feel it.
mhm.
Yeah.
I find that that sometimes even happens in our audience where that they've
Oh,
asked a question, we've said something, we know something, and then suddenly, and I think this is newer people,
okay.
suddenly they
Yeah.
think I know everything about them. I don't.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, he
Yeah.
probably knows what I did the other day," and I'm like, "I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I
No.
don't know."
No.
Yeah.
And not only that, 9 times out of 10, you don't remember anything you've said, any question you've answered.
Yeah.
There isn't really anybody. The only reason for me that I might remember is because I'm doing the cards and I see people that I've seen over and over again. And I'm like, somebody might have said
Mhm.
that their husband was hurt or whatever, and I might say something about it. But yeah, I don't know all that personal
Mhm.
stuff about
Yeah.
them. No,
The
that's
in
funny.
this case, I'm not really sure why. I think maybe because when I was working on the porch, that my mind was opened. I wasn't thinking about anything in
True.
particular. I was just,
Yeah.
and it was easier for them to talk to me. And when I heard
Mhm.
him say the words that he did, they're like, "Oh, see, this is how that happened." And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
oh."
Yeah. My
Basically,
father, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, no, that's all right. Too much information. I'll keep it to myself.
Oh, my father had a young kid. He was two and a half, and he was an x-ray tech. And he was trying to get him into laying down and doing, this is a long time ago. And the kid called him get your effing hands off me, you old bee, and all this other shit. And it's the parent. It was, I mean, that nobody knows those words unless they hear them over and over
Yeah.
again. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Anyway. All right, one more question. Hi, Marella. Nice to see you. If heaven exists, and you and I know that it does, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hey girl, what took you so long?
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have a lot of animals that are going to meet you over there?
Yeah, but the thing is they keep meeting me over here too.
Oh,
So
that's true. They're with you all the
right,
time. That's why.
yeah, I have several cats, one dog, two dogs
Uh,
actually, and a
uh-huh.
horse. And the horse keeps coming back. The horse keeps coming around and
Cool.
doing stuff.
That's
And then
awesome.
the dog. Now my brother also has quite a few dogs on the other side, and I
Hmm.
did a reading for him once, and it turns out his favorite dog is gonna bark him in when
Oh,
his time to
barking.
it's gonna bark him in. You know, like on 101 Dalmatians, the twilight bark? So
Yes.
his
Yes.
favorite dog has
Oh,
already told me and told him that she's going to bark him in. So I've
bark them
asked
in.
my little
That's
Emma,
funny.
just went to, she can bark me in.
You can bark me in. That's right.
So maybe I'll
Gosh,
hear
that's
barking
beautiful.
instead of it took you a while, sis. Maybe I'll hear barking.
Barking instead. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for agreeing to these questions. And we already have some people posting up some questions for you and I to do today.
Oh,
So thank you, Terry, for being here for me. And any word from James Lipton at all?
no, sorry.
No, he's sleeping right now.
Well,
All
he's
right.
probably
So
stunned that someone wants to hear barking on the stage. So,
there are well, there's an awful lot of people that he's interviewed that like Robin Williams probably had the funniest. I can't exactly remember, but you can only imagine, what he, whoa, something like that. You know how
mhm,
he always used to do that.
yeah.
All right. So let's answer some questions. So Craig is going to go to Bryce Canyon in the fall. There's actually a group of people meeting there doing a conference. And so he is going to drive up from there, which is wonderful. And so, does his mom, Martha, have any messages for him about his trip?
So right away, I get the feeling that this is not anything she's said, but I get the feeling that she's going to watch over you as you drive on this trip, as you go, just kind of, just being there, making sure you're safe.
Hmm.
The funny thing is that I can kind of see her, and she's kind of, at first, she showed me like a kind of a rounder, older lady, but then she grew tall and elegant.
Hmm.
Um, hmm, but she's not super clear. Martha, do you have anything else to say? Oh, she's kind of has a little bit of for me here because I thought, Martha might be a little jealous of Clara Bow, and
Oh.
and
Hmm.
no, they're he has her arm around her shoulders. It's only love. It's only love over there. So Craig, just go ahead and luxuriate in the love of both of those women. So
Absolutely. Craig, got some new cards and it fits this scenario completely, really. They're the sacred feminine, the seeds of the sacred feminine. Aren't they beautiful? And
yeah,
so I pulled three of these cards, and it's because your mom is, sacred feminine. The first
right.
one I got, and it's wonderful because it's got Native Americans on it, and that's exactly what you have in your blood. It says, "Listen with your heart, not just your ears." Look at
Oh,
that. It's
isn't that
awesome.
lovely?
And the colors are just gorgeous. But wait till you see what else she has to say. She says she wants you to reuse something, purpose it or refine it or bring something with you. She tells you what she wants you to do in the next card, and I love it. And I would have said, if I had thought of it, I would have been even more happier, but I didn't. Play a drum. She wants you to
Oh,
bring a drum with you. Yeah. And, if they don't do any drumming there, if nobody does any drumming there, it's no big deal. You go out into the canyon and bang a drum, play a drum. I think you probably have a drum because, or you could at least borrow a drum. Maybe that's what you're reusing from somebody else. I don't know. But she wants
yeah.
you to bring the drum.
Oh,
Yeah. Show Clara how you do a drum ceremony. Oh my goodness. I got the
oh,
chills. I love Bryce Canyon. My favorite though is Zion. Between the two, Bryce, you're looking up. No, are you looking up? No, you're looking down on the canyon. Zion, you're looking up. And so there's a little bit of a difference in what it is that you do. So no, she's not feeling ignored. Yeah.
No,
No, no.
she's not. It was just me wondering that it was the
Yeah.
the ego part of me, not the spiritual part of me.
I hurt more to speak to my mom, but with Clara, I've accepted I know his mom hasn't been really gone that long.
Right,
And, but honey, she's with you. She's so happy for you that you're going to go. And she wants you to bring in that Native American
right.
flavor into this
Yeah,
because all those rocks and oh my God, it's so beautiful.
yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
lovely.
There you go. All right. The next one is, oops, I'm sorry. It's Morella first. Does my husband, is it Reno or Rhino? I want to say his name right. Rano. Have a message for me. Hi, Jean.
Oh, he's big energy. He's big energy. Um, I don't know if he looked this way in life, but he's like a bear of a man. He feels big. Like he probably was a good hugger. So Reno. What do you
It's
have?
Reno, she said. It's like the
Reno.
city, Reno. Yeah.
Okay. What do you have? What message do you have? Oh, he says, Morella, don't play it safe. Don't play it safe. You know, roll the dice, take the bet, go on the trip, go on, yeah, like he's like, live really all the way. He says, because you only get a little bit of time. And he doesn't mean like short time, he means our lives in general
Our
are very
life.
short. To
Yeah.
be Morella, and
Mhm.
he'll be waiting for you when it's time. So yeah, oh, he wants you to just go out there and do it up.
Oh my God. That's exactly what I've got. He wants you to fearless. He wants you to be fearless. Look at this, and look at the
Yeah.
picture. She's got the dark hair like you'd have, Morella, and I love that. And there's swirling all around you, and green energy is the healing energy. Yeah, he says you be
Mhm.
fearless, and he says to reach out and grab what you can while life is in your hands. Absolutely, I got
Right.
the same thing Terry did,
Yeah. Ooh,
and
I get chills for
I
that.
know. It's really and then I get authenticity. He says, "You're the real deal. You're the real deal, and by
Oh,
being your authentic self, you're going to reach your goals, whatever they may be. But be fearless and reach for the stars because they're all there for you to reach for, and
mm,
that would make you. Oh my
oh my
Lord!
gosh. He
Yes,
that card and him kind of blow my heart up. I'm kind of like, oh, that I got a big heart now.
yeah, yeah. It does. It sounds like he really is. He's really encouraging you to, get out there and live your life. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. His nickname was Bear.
Oh, I can see why.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, you're welcome, Marilla. I'm so glad that it just jived with what the cards came out with. It was amazing.
Mhm,
I still
mhm.
got goosebumps. Yeah, he was waiting on you to come through. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Lottie, I can take it. Yes, we'll do it. We'll do it for you. All right. Wow. Okay.
synchronicity.
Anything her guides would like her to know today? I'm going to do the sacred feminine cards for you today.
was really, really interesting. They have you in a tram on my stage. It's like you're way up. Everything's white and glistening and silvery and white, and you're in the tram. And I feel like what the message is take a different perspective today. I really feel that this is just for today. They're just saying today, look at things with a different perspective. Try to deliberately take a different perspective. Even if, yeah, even if this perspective is negative. Like
Mhm.
let's say you have this uh, thought that's been around a while and everybody accuses you maybe of being Pollyanna. Take the thought and look at it in a negative sense too. Take it
Mhm.
and look at it in a positive sense. Just there. I think that's what they're saying. Take a different view. Should look around a little.
Can you see her on?
Well, it's a chairlift up there, a tram, a silvery thing.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. That's
Yes.
so funny. Talk about literal and figurative, right? Oh my
Yeah.
Lord. That's fabulous. Okay, so these cards, they're just beautiful. And so I have here, they telling you to listen to the wisdom of your feelings. Your feelings are yours and you need to honor them. Don't let anybody tell you, quote, you shouldn't feel that way. I was
Whoa.
told that over and over again. Oh no, you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't feel that way. And it was meant, I think, that for somebody to say, you're wonderful, you're kind, you're whatever it was. But what it did was invalidate the feelings that I had, and that there was something that I needed to know or do or feel in order to understand something. So listen to your feelings. And then I love this, smile at a stranger and look at the dragonflies and the butterflies. And they're just sort of out there, here we're sharing the beauty of the world around us. And it always makes people feel better. If I'm in a store and I don't have a mask on, because I still wear a lot of masks in stores, but I always smile at people.
Hmm.
And sometimes it confuses them, but that's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah.
And the last one I got is create a sacred fire. And so I'm going to tell you that whenever I have had to get rid of something, let's say, and I don't even mean a physical thing, just a feeling or whatever, I would write it on a piece of paper and I would go outside and burn it. And to me, that's a sacred fire. That's releasing that idea or that thought or that whatever it was and giving it back to the universe. And honestly, I always feel very cleansed when I do it. And everybody's different, but you can create your own sacred fire. It doesn't have to be real. It could be just in your heart or in your mind. So, yeah. Yep, I can take questions today, believe it or not. Isn't that wonderful? Hi, Lori. No, you want to have a reading today? That's fine. We can do you too. Yes, it's good to see you. All
And
right.
and Craig, I never got the feeling that your mom felt ignored. So don't feel that way either.
Let it
She's
go,
always with
Craig.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let it go. Yep. All right. So, Lottie, is it normal to feel disoriented after meditating? Fell asleep during meditation and the doorbell woke me up. After that I felt dizzy and oh, you were floating, girlfriend. You were
Hmm.
out there and boom, somebody rang the doorbell. I don't know. I'm going to let Terri look at it.
Um, yes, it's completely normal to sometimes feel disoriented after meditating. Especially like if you fall asleep during meditation, because there's a good chance your spirit is, even though the body is asleep, the spirit is still awake and doing stuff. And suddenly, when the body comes back online, it does create some disorientation. Um,
Mhm.
and I have felt dizzy. I mean, even on yesterday's show, remember I read for somebody and their energy just blew the top of my head off and I was dizzy.
Yes.
I mean, I had to kind of hang on to my chair here a little bit to stay upright, and
Yes.
so sometimes you can have a very powerful meditation that will cause you to be dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
And so what, let me just ask them a question about this. So what about Lottie B's meditation and the dizziness and orientation? Is there anything else she needs to know? Oh, that's a lovely sight. Um, they just kind of took me to an old-fashioned painting,
Hmm.
of a sea. Those old-fashioned paintings where there might be like a little boat on the horizon and you see the beautiful clouds. And the name of this artist is like on the tip of my tongue, a famous old artist of landscapes. And I
It's
think what
not
they're
Monet.
showing me,
Monet. No.
not Monet, one of those old English landscaper
Oh,
guys.
English landscapes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're showing me that maybe you were traveling. Maybe you were doing some astral traveling, some work over there. They had you kind of uh, traveling, probably on a ship, since they're showing me the ocean in that ship. But you were doing a little bit of work over there on your higher self, on Turner. There we go. Carolyn Adams got it. A
Oh,
Turner
I
painting.
heard.
And
Okay.
so I think they were showing me that you were gently doing some work over there. And when you suddenly got woke up and suddenly had to come back, that it disoriented you a little bit. Also, because I mean, if you're on like a ship, you're already a little,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. But I can imagine anytime that I am awakened abruptly by something, like the phone ringing really loud. It doesn't even have to be loud, but when you're asleep or meditating, it's very loud, it seems. I get
right,
really disoriented. I don't know if it's the day or the night. Or is it
yeah.
morning? So, yeah.
I noticed Lottie B said, "Is it normal to not know that you're doing that?" Yes.
Mm,
If you are
okay.
not somebody who remembers your dreams very vividly,
Yeah.
then you might not know you're doing that. Like, I'm a big dreamer. I remember the dreams. And so usually when I wake up like that with a start, I might not remember, but I will
Uh-huh.
remember, oh, I was talking to somebody. Who was I talking to?
Hmm.
And so I'll
Mm.
I'll remember a little bit of it, but not all of it. But sometimes I remember all of it 'cause I am a big, big dreamer.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
Uh-huh.
you can you can ask your guides before you meditate or go to sleep at night to gently reveal to me where I go. I
Mm.
always say gently, gently, so they're not scaring you, or just
Right.
suddenly
Right.
going from not remembering to suddenly full blown movie.
Yep. So what I pulled, Lottie, was action. And that's exactly what it was. You were just so transcendent. You were so, really enjoying yourself. And then boom, action. Oh my God. So there it is. Look at how explosive it is. It's
Mhm,
almost looks like the sun. And it's in red because
mhm.
you all of a sudden had to come back to life, so to speak. You may have even been out there
Yeah.
somewhere, right? I mean, a boat maybe
I think she
floating.
was out there. I
Yeah.
don't think it was a
Yeah.
boat on the ocean here.
Right, right. But wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Anyway, don't
morale's up
worry
there.
about it, dear. You aren't alone, not at all. All right. So Roseflower, I'm going to answer yours. I'm going to answer Willow's, but I'm going to go ahead and choose Lori because she doesn't get questions ever really. She doesn't bring any questions here. She went on this vacation, an odd family vacation, with her ex-husband of 24 years. He and his wife were there.
Mhm.
She and her husband were there, and their grown children were there because they were there for some event for their granddaughter. That's why they were all there together. But she said he acted very cold, and it's been really bothering her. She wonders if we can look into that.
Well, I'm kind of getting two different things here. Um, Again, they're showing me this in like a watercolor drawing. This is the day for art, kind of.
Yeah.
Um, and it's showing like all four of you, and you're kind of explorers in that, I see you walking along in this vacation, him and his wife here, you and your husband up here, he's behind you. And, part of the weird feelings is just because it was odd. It was an odd thing to do. But also, I get a very, very strong feeling here that really what I'm finding is this is very over between you guys, is very over. But I kind of feel like there might have been just a tidge jealousy on his wife's part. And so he had to make sure to appear as if there is no connection, as there's nothing going on here. And it then you perceive that as being very cold. Um, you you actually they're really showing me that this is a cord you can cut. This is something you can let go. Um, okay, why can't she just let go of this? Why so if you cut this cord with him, and you can do this in like meditation or prayer, or you can ask somebody to read you and do it. Uh it um It actually just is about freedom. It just frees up this just it creates freedom. It doesn't mean that he's not on your spiritual team back in heaven, because probably he was. He probably had a reason for being in your life. But anyway, it's not gonna hurt to cut that, and, it really very, very over to me. Yeah.
So it's interesting because I always have gotten and I know him, and I don't know his new wife, but I know who, we were like good friends, my husband and her husband, and all of us when we were younger. And so I feel as though he's never really gotten past certain things. And she is a jealous person, but not Lori, but the new wife. But
Mm.
I do sense that the coldness comes from feelings that came up because they were at Disney World, and Lori has been there like 40 times with him, and
Oh,
I get the old trip
oh,
and the old feelings, and that's what I get. And so the best
mhm,
way to handle that is just to put up this wall, sort
right.
of around them. Um, I get the card of transition, the natural progression of change, realignment, and release. So yeah, you've got to let it go because it has nothing to do with you didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
He was having a terrible time processing it, I believe,
Mhm.
going through all these things. And then I think Terry's right. She was
Yeah,
probably in his ear the whole time.
yeah.
I get purposeful action, assertive, focused direction, overcoming obstacles.
Mhm.
So he was doing that. He was trying to overcome the obstacles and put his focus on a this direction. We're going to do this here, and then we're going to go over here, and then remember he has to sort of jockey with the idea of her husband as well. So that
Mhm.
would be difficult. The last one I got is emergence. It says surfacing, development, arrival, and coming through. And so, I think that it's he came through it. He got it. He got it done. He got this done. I think there's a lot of guilt. I do.
Mm,
I think there's a
mm.
lot of guilt. And yep, his wife was nice to you. Well, she would be. She would be nice
Yeah,
to you. I think. Yeah. I
yeah,
don't think she would want to be nasty with you. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything big. She wasn't super, super jealous. He just wanted to make sure that nothing he did or said might set her off
Yeah.
a little. But I
I
wanna
agree with that. Yep.
go back and so Laurie said, "I have cut it so many times, I thought we were in a good place." it might be that you have to cut it again.
Yeah.
It's not like he's gonna be out of your life forever because
True. You got
it's,
children together.
you
Yeah.
guys had a life together. And I want to say Warrior Girl's really spot on. Anytime you cut cords, if you're doing it yourself, Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael are great to call on. So Michael cuts it with his
Big
sword, and
sword.
Raphael sears the edges so nothing can reattach.
Yeah.
Really,
Uh-huh. It
that's the
is
way.
interesting. Every time she cuts cords, though, she does hear from him for some reason. It's like he'll text her or something. It's yeah,
Whoa.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, there's maybe something going more going on here.
I think
There,
so.
there's
But
something
yeah,
more because you're cutting the cord and suddenly he's getting the message. Whoa, very interesting.
it is. It's a fascinating study in human thinking and. But anyway, honey,
So
it's got
he has
nothing to
some,
do with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
he has some psychic things going on there. He's
yeah,
somewhat aware.
yeah, yep. Good. Yeah, call on him tonight. Tell him you're tired of this BS and you want to cut the cords. I thought she was brave to even go with this in
Oh,
this scenario. So
yeah.
anyway, all right, sweetie. Thank you. I hope that helped a little bit. All right, so we've got Willow. Um, Willow's mother's name was Alice, and she said she's been having a difficult time connecting with her lately. I know Willow is a psychic, but it's always hard to
Mhm.
connect with our own folks.
It is sometimes. Other times they won't shut up. Well, this is kind of interesting. So Alice is showing me that and this is going to sound weird. It's like she's at a spiritual retreat right now, that she's doing a little bit of work on herself. And I know that sounds weird because there's no time over there. They could instantly come and talk to you and go back to what they were doing, or keep doing it with one part of themselves. But and just in case this means anything to you, I'm seeing like a sage green. It's either a cactus, one of those ones that have a lot of those flat surfaces, or it's seaweed going up from you know, floating up, and you can see these flat surfaces. And it's as if in my head she's living in that right now. Like that there's something that she's doing that is meditative, that is a learning process. And she's bringing my mother to mind because my mother was one of those when she passed away. I mean, like right away, not hardly. They say they're supposed to have a little time out. No time out. She was yapping in my ear like crazy and wouldn't stop for a long time. And then at one point, she kind of stopped. And uh, I realized recently she did something like this, where there's something that she wanted to do that was kind of contemplative or meditative or something, where that she needed to be quiet. So I feel like that's what's happening with your mother, Alice.
All right,
It's not forever. It's not
yeah,
forever. It's just for right now.
just for now.
You'll be able to contact her again.
So the feminine deck comes out for you, Willow. And it says it's time for ceremony. So maybe you want to have a little
Mhm.
ceremony to bring your mom back in. Just sometimes I'll do that where I'll pull out some pictures and then I'll try to find different things that my mother liked, and I would try to bring her in that way. It says to listen to the birds and the songs of the song of the birds, because birds are heavenly messengers, and I know that. Oh, your mom was Catholic, raised in the convent. Wow.
Mm.
And then listen to the wisdom of your feelings. So if you, I'm getting the feeling from what you've said that you've been sad because you haven't heard from her, and
Hmm.
so maybe you want to just take that space. give her her space, and then after a period of time, ask her, "Are you ready, Mom? You ready to come back and talk to me?" But thank you, Willow. Thank you
Maybe
so
ask her what she was doing too. That was kind of intriguing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, can I get a message? And the list is open. We're going to do you, and we're going to do Sheila, and then we'll call it a day.
Huh, really interesting. I kind of thought at first I was going to go on to another painting, but it morphed into actually an eagle, a white head, a bald eagle with a white head.
Oh, uh-huh.
And the eagle started flying, and I was flying near the eagle. And the eagle's eyesight is so, so much better than mine. And it's showing me that the eagle can identify things from so far away. So what I'm getting from this message, and of course you should always take what you think about this message, that I kind of get the feeling like you should keep your eyes open right now. There's something happening that you need to kind of keep your eye out open for and be aware that is happening in your life. Now, let me ask the eagle, is this spiritual or physical? I get the feeling this is more like new spiritual awakening for you, but the eagle said, "Why not look for both? Because both could be true." So, okay,
Hmm.
that's yeah. So something's on the horizon that they want you to keep your eye out.
Okay. So let's see what we get here for you, dear. Hmm. So I get listen with your heart, not just your ears. I've gotten this already today, but it's always a good reminder that it is our truth that we feel the most in our hearts, because we miss some of those things, and because when we just listen with our ears. The next one I got is to speak your truth. Never worry. And look at the beautiful bird. Oh, it's actually a woman, but you can see that she's spread into this bird like figure as well. And just gorgeous. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. And it says to feel your pulse. And I take that to mean um, enjoy the energy. If your pulse is racing sometimes for whatever reason, that's exciting. If your pulse is resting more, that's also something you need to do. So it's take a pulse on what it is that you're feeling or doing, and make sure that you're aligned and balancing correctly. So that's what I get from that card. Yeah. All right. We got one more here today. Thank you all for being here with us. I love this. She had a dream about a La Cucaracha near her daughter.
Ah, hmm. Well, my just initial like gut reaction to this is that there's somebody around her that doesn't necessarily wish her well, um, and that she should be alert, but also recognize that she can squish that cockroach. You know, it's just one little stomp and it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think, oh, they're kind of going farther on this. In meditation or prayer, they want you to send her white light of strength. They want you to send her strength. They want you to remind her of her strength, if it's possible, if she will let you talk to her. I'm feeling like that this is not a little girl. Your daughter's not a little girl. She's an adult woman, I think. And remind her of her good qualities. She's worthwhile, and that she can stand up for herself. Remind her that she should stand up for herself.
She's fearless. I get that she's, she could have a cockroach next to her and it's no big deal. No big deal. Don't worry about it, Mom. It'll be okay. Sometimes we don't know the dangers around us. And it's good we don't know the dangers around us at times, because then we don't buy into them and, live in fear or whatever. I don't know how old your daughter is, but, the cockroach, I'm trying to think what it would even mean. I think of cockroaches as people who don't, when people don't clean their homes, when places are a bit dirty, there's cockroaches, but they can also be infested by being brought in from other places with cockroaches. It doesn't mean that you're a dirty person if you have them. I don't want anyone to think that, but it's like I'm getting this feeling that it doesn't seem to bother her as much as it bothers you. But how old is she? Cockroaches are indicative of survival at all costs. Thanks, Willow. Okay. And it isn't necessarily negative. Right. Yep. I don't know how old she is, but anyway, I think she's fearless. That's survival at all costs. It really is. So there you go. Yeah. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Terri, and everybody here. I had a wonderful time with you all today. And what's coming up for you, Terri? On
today, later today at 1:30 Pacific time, I have a show with Jean and Joan, our Magical Mondays. So if people didn't get their question answered here, come on over there and be in the show. And it's going to be on Wisdom Jones' channel. So that's a great place to go into the chat. And we're going to, of course, broadcast on all of our channels, but
Yeah. And I have Sheila Inquisitive Tarot on at 1:00 today, and we'll be answering some also with probably simulcasting. Okay, so Jenny says cockroaches are everywhere in the South. It isn't negative at all. I know, honey. I wasn't saying that people are dirty if they have them, because I had them in Florida, and I am a fairly good housekeeper. So, but her daughter is 50, so that makes me feel I'd hate to be telling her this about her daughter and have her daughter be 5. That's all I was concerned with.
I actually did not feel that she was 5. I felt like she is an adult. So
okay. Yeah. Okay. You can talk a cockroach bug out of your condo. Well, you're the cockroach whisperer, Jenny. Good for you. Wow. That's awesome. That's really awesome. All right. Take care, everybody. It was great to see you. Thank you so much. Bye everybody.